Hello, Virgo. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. Virgo, how you doing? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here, by the way. So I've got this one deck that we're going to use this week. We're going to use this Oracle deck, the Places Oracle, and then we're going to throw some tarot at it. Virgo, we are out of your season. Finally, it was pretty wild, but we are out of your season, and we are into Libra season. So welcome to Libra season. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about how to find a private read if you want to do that, or how to find the extended if you're interested in that, Virgo. Virgo, thank you for coming here. If you are someone who's brand new, welcome. I hope you'll stay. Subscription button is there, bottom right hand corner of this little square where I live. And if you're the one always coming back, I appreciate you so much. Let's find out what's going on with Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Virgo. Okay, here we go. We've got the museum, got the airport. I feel like you are going from this place of, the museum is like where things are still. Do you know what I mean? So the museum, it says artifacts and exhibits, interactive displays, museum and collections. It feels like you're coming from the past, is what it feels like. It feels like the museum is the place where we go to see old artifacts to remind us of the past. And so artifacts and exhibits, interactive displays, museum collectives or collections. It feels like you are headed to the airport. Now, the airport is the place of arrivals and departures. And it feels to me like you're departing the past. It feels like you've decided, I'm just going to leave that back there. It's not really serving me anymore. It feels like justice. We've got court, legal proceedings, judgment and verdict, justice and fairness. So listen, this could be literal for some of you. It feels like what is showing up or what is coming in is something that is justified on your end. It could be a legal proceeding. It feels like somebody here is going to receive a judgment, or there is going to be a verdict. So we could be talking about something that's going on that's legal. This is travel hub, departure and arrival, and airport lounge. So it does feel like there is it feels like there's something here that is either wrapping up or coming to an end, or there's going to finally be an answer soon, whether it's legal or not. Bottom of the deck, we have the gym. It says fitness training, strength and endurance. Yeah, gym equipment. So it feels like this, and it could be a government thing here. We've got the government building. It says building services, administrative agencies. So I feel like there is somebody here who's had to endure something legal for a very long time. It's not going to be legal for all of you, but for some of you, what you've had to endure are some sort of thoughts you couldn't let go of, that you kept going over and over and over the details of something that I feel that you are feeling strong enough to depart from here, that you're departing from the past, from, things that are in the past here. It feels like this could be your judgment, right? Court is where the judgments are made. It feels like you are speaking on your own behalf, or you're speaking out loud finally in a justified way, saying, I've got to bring things into balance now and leave things in the past. And when you do that, I feel, Virgo, that what's coming up here is something that is restored, or a truth is realized. It feels like if it's not about something legal, it feels like you are letting something go from the past. For some of you, it feels like it's been endurance, right? So it feels like over time you have come to this emotional or mental fitness, where you finally are now making this decision that I can now leave it. I've got enough strength. I've endured this long enough. It feels like something is coming to a crescendo or to an end here for you, Virgo. Tell me about Virgo, please. Tell me about Virgo. Tell me about Virgo. Virgo, we have the Four of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. So we've got all Pentacles. These are things that are going on in your 3D world. And what I mean by that is it's not going on as a dream. It's not going on as just a thought pattern. It's something that is actually tangible, something that is going to happen real time in the 3D here. So we do have the museum here. It almost looks like there could be a museum in the background here, but it feels like we do have the museum here, it feels like you're shutting it down, is what it feels like. The Four of Pentacles tells me that you're shutting down, shutting off. I'm keeping it to myself. I'm not doing this again. It feels like you're not willing to share your time, efforts, energy with whatever is in the past. You're no longer there. It feels like you're now just closing off to the past. It feels like you really are ending some sort of a chapter in your life here. Tell me more about stuff that was in the museum here. We've got the King of Cups. It could definitely be about some sort of romantic situation. We've got the Knight of Wands and the King of Cups. It feels like somebody here is letting go of their... how am I going to say this in a kind way? It feels like somebody here was engaging in probably a lot of Knight of Wands energy. So what I mean by that is you weren't interested in settling down into a relationship. I feel like maybe you're doing a lot of dating or a lot of passionate moments. It feels like here that you've grown up from that, is what it feels like. This King of Cups energy tells me that you are now emotionally available and emotionally aware. I feel like the Ten of Wands tells me that the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Wands together tell me that it became really hard and it became really heavy for you to carry, that you were sort of bouncing in and out of people's lives, or maybe people were doing that to you. But I mean, it's it's all what you allow, Virgo, right? Whatever end you're on, you can't always point your finger at someone else and say you did that to me, because you allowed it at some point. So either you were the person who was bouncing around and from person to person, or someone else was doing that with you, and maybe hurt your feelings. Whatever it is, if it was you, I feel like you're never going to let that happen again. It feels like you put the kibosh on it here. You've now shut it down, shut it off. I'm not going to let that happen again with the Knight of Wands, because it's energy that's too unstable. And I feel like maybe you get your heart wrapped around it and then it ends up being a burden. I feel like this is all past energy, or this is something that you're now willing to let to be in the past. It feels like you're far too deep a human, that you feel things far too deeply to engage in the Knight of Wands energy. And maybe you just tripped upon it. I'm not saying that you were the person who engaged in it. Maybe you didn't realize you were engaging with the Knight of Wands, right? Someone who wasn't going to give you much stability, but a lot of passion. It feels like it became very heavy when you realized that this was not deep romance. This was the instability of passion, someone coming in and out of your life. I feel like you're no longer letting a certain person come in and out of your life. We have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, which brought us the Three of Swords, which brings us the Four of Swords and the Four of Wands. So there's a progression here. From the Three of Swords to the Four of Swords, we go from heartbreak, heartache, or disappointment to the Four of Swords, which is the place of healing. I feel like the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, it tells me that possibly you didn't have a lot of self-esteem back there. You weren't really sure of yourself. You didn't have a lot of confidence. I feel like you've learned some things. It feels like you've come to some type of wisdom, and it has taken you to a place of the Four of Wands. Now, the airport is the place of arrivals and departures. I feel like we do have a Knight of Wands here who is possibly in and out of your life. This does not have to be a romantic reading. This could be a sister or a brother. Maybe there's somebody here who keeps showing up in your life when they need something, when they need stability, when they need money, right? When they need support, when they need time, attention, effort, or money from you. Maybe that's the only time this person shows up in your life. It could be a grown child. It feels like it was the only time that this person would show up, but the Four and the Three of Swords together is 7, and so it was heartbreaking and disappointing. And I feel like you didn't have the confidence to say no. And so I feel like you do now, though. It feels like this last departure was it. I feel like you're no longer at the airport lounge. You're no longer out there buying drinks for everybody. You're like, no, you can't do this. I don't trust you anymore. I feel like you probably let this person into your home. Maybe you lived with them. Maybe you were married to them. Maybe you were just somebody who lived with you. Could be, like I said, an older child. Could be a friend. But it feels like you didn't have the courage or the confidence to say no more, but I think you finally do, because we have the legal proceedings here. It's like somebody, I'm seeing the gavel, right? It's like, no, I'm not letting you do this anymore. I feel like this Ace of Pentacles tells me this is a new seed. It's a new cycle. It's a new way of living for you. You are now planting seeds that are solid, that are sturdy, that you know are going to grow. I feel like you've become a better farmer is what it feels like, or you've become a better gardener. It feels like you know what to grow side by side so things don't tangle in the wrong way. It feels like the legal proceedings and the judgment and the verdict tells me that you've decided to start a new chapter in your life here. We're going to start the new chapter. We're going to plant the new seed. I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to gain stability, and I'm going to do it in a way that possibly for some of you is legal. This could also mean if this is a legal thing and we're in court here, I feel like this is a brand new start to your life with a financial payout if you're waiting for money. So it feels like it could be a new beginning in your life that brings you stability, abundance. It brings slow movement. It's like walking through the gate, right? You're walking through the gate. It's a brand new, it's like you didn't know what was out there until you walked through the gate. Tell me what's going on here. We've got the Devil energy. We've got the Two of Pentacles, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, that kind of says a lot of stuff, right? Because the Devil energy is the energy that is attached to you. It's obsessive. It is fear-mongering. It is, it's doubt. It feels like that you were probably living on not a whole lot for a very long time, but I think you were still holding on to your foundation, the Two of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. You were trying to build a foundation or barely holding on to the foundation. Some of you could have had two jobs. It feels like you were waiting for something to be decided in the courts, or maybe you're waiting for it. I think it happens in the month of October. It could be in the week ahead for some of you who are nearing the place where they're about to make a decision. And for some of you, it could be further on. It feels like you've endured something for a very long time. But listen, if you are anyone who's lost a lot of, if you're someone who's lost a lot of weight, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say that when you have a lot of weight on your body, you don't realize how much muscle is under all of that because you've been carrying that around like your frame has had to hold it up for so long. It feels like when you finally lose the weight or you finally drop this thing that has been attached to you for a while, all of a sudden you start to feel better. You start to feel lighter. You start to feel stronger because you've endured something that you've been carrying around for so long that's been heavy. I feel like the Wheel of Fortune showing up to change everything. So expansion is here, change is here, and the fact that it's with this Ace of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, tells me that it could be finances, it could be home, hearth, it could be time, energy, effort. It could be health for some of you, but this Wheel of Fortune is telling me that there is now, the Wheel of Fortune has shown up to change everything in October. The wheel is card number 10. And when we break 10s back down to 1s, that's the beginning of something. So I think that this Libra season is your new season, Virgo, is what it feels like. You could have a Libra placement, doesn't matter. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Sagittarius here. We've got Pisces and Cancer here, as well as Capricorn. You could have any of those placements, but it feels like something here is changing in divine timing, and it's changing in a very good way for you, a very beneficial and fortunate way for you. I feel like you've been chained to maybe two jobs for a very long time, and now maybe the one job is going to give you the bonus, is going to give you the upgrade, is going to give you the promotion, and now you can let go of the second job. It could be something like that as well. We're going to look at the extended. I'm going to put down 3 cards here. We're going to go into the extended, and if you would like to be there with us, Virgo, please look in the pinned comment, which is at the top of all of the comments. There's a few links there. If you want to purchase this outright, you can do that. There's a link there. If you want to come to the membership area where you get at least 4 extendeds per month, or more if you're looking for more signs, then you can do that. There's a link there for that. Also, if you're interested in a private reading, whether it's live or pre-recorded, I'm offering both. All the sales right now are in the live readings, so anywhere between 5 and 75% off. If you would like to speak to me live, I can answer as many questions as we can stuff into a session. And so that doesn't happen with the pre-recorded readings. It only happens with the live ones. All right. Let's get 3 cards on the table, find out, well, first of all, we're going to go and we're going to talk more about this court. What is this exactly? And I feel like we should talk about what happened here, because it feels like you've realized someone's lying to you, and in order to get stability, you had to take off. You had to go. And I feel like this person probably affected your ability to be confident. Yeah. All right. Let's find out what else is going on for the extended. We've got the Hermit energy. We've got the Sun in the reverse. And we've got the Star. You know what it feels like? It feels like there was, for the longest time here, it feels like you were doing okay. And I want to say with the Two of Pentacles, you were staying in balance. You were making just enough to get by, but it feels like the sun, when the sun is here, you could see everything that was going on around you, and you knew that change needed to come, but you didn't have any control over it. Also, when the sun is in the reverse, it's like, I'm doing okay, but there's no growth here. I'm not growing at this time. So I feel like this Hermit energy and the Star here tells me that something here, the wish fulfillment, is about to show up, and the healing of possibly finances, or maybe it turns the sun into the upright, but it does feel like that it could be like some sort of government bonus or bursary or grant or something. Maybe you're in a dogfight with the government about some money. Feels like there's some celebration that might be coming up because of this, because the Tavern is here. We're going to go into the extension if you'd like to be there. Oh, look at that. Three of Wands is here. Ships are coming in. Something good is coming in the future here for you. We'll talk about that as well. If you're interested in coming there, you know how to get there. And I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. See you in the extension if that's where you are. And if not, well, I'll see you then. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.